Welcome back to the Beef Bar, Bruins Banter TV. We're up to episode 11 now. I'm back this week. I've recovered from the beatdown laid on me by Matt Berkaliak in NHL 13 last week. We've got a look at the newest Bruin this week for you, and we're also going to talk to President Jeff Pearson. So let's take a look at what's in store this week. Welcome to episode 11 of the Beef Bar Bruin Banter TV. I never thought we'd get to double digits, by the way, but here we are. We're joined by Dustin Jesso, the newest member of the Estevan Bruins. Dustin, you came in not long ago from the Northern Ontario Junior Hockey League. Just talk about what the transition has been like so far for you coming to Estevan and joining your new team.
It's been pretty good, not too bad. The system's a little different. The speed is better here, and there's more hitting. And overall, it's been a pretty good transition in general. So.
Obviously, one of the reasons they brought you in was they're hoping to add some scoring. How would you describe the way you play the game?
I'm a two-way forward. I'm rough, tough, and I play the game at the tempo it's supposed to be. I like scoring goals. I forecheck pretty good. I'm a pretty fast player. I'm going to add some depth to the first two lines, so it's going to be a pretty good year for me.
How do you feel? You know, obviously you've only played the one game in the SJHL, but how do you feel about the difference between it and some of the leagues you've played in Ontario?
There's more hitting, there's more grinding. I find it's down low is pretty hard to play, and there's no time. You have to move the puck pretty quickly and whatnot. So, yeah.
You guys last weekend went on that trip to Grand Forks to see the UND hockey team play a couple of games. Was that kind of nice for you? Just right away when you get here, you get to go on that kind of trip and do a bit of team bonding and get to know the guys.
Yeah, it was pretty great. The boys made me feel like it was home. So, I mean, that trip made me feel a lot better about where I'm staying here and doing team bonding and whatnot. So, I mean, it's been a pretty good ride so far. First couple weeks I've been here.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Dustin. Welcome back to the Beef Bar Bruin Banter TV. We're joined by Bruins President Jeff Pearson. Jeff, you're a successful businessman, hotel owner, sponsor of an award-winning TV show, or so we hope at some point in the future. Just wanted to talk a little bit about the Bruins today. First of all, obviously still been plagued by a bit of inconsistency lately, trying to work their way up the standings. But obviously they've added some talent here the last little while with bringing in Dustin Jesso not long ago, and also Roger Taguna before that. Mm-hmm. Are you getting the sense that this team is starting to get on the right track?
Yeah, I think, both Roger and Dustin aren't role players that were added to this team. They were both added for a reason, expected to play in key situations on the top lines of the hockey club. And interesting thing, they're both skilled players, but, bring something different to the team. Roger has a good skill set, but is a very gritty hockey player for sure. Dustin's certainly a skilled scoring player, and myself and the rest of, I think, the fans of Estevan haven't even seen Dustin play. Certainly looking forward to that this coming weekend. But yeah, with the addition of those guys, and hopefully in the very near future getting 3 key players back to the Estevan Bruins. Matt Berkaliak's been out for a while, Calder Neufeld, and of course we haven't seen Stephen Glass play, and anyone that's seen Stephen play last year, I think, can see what a big piece of the puzzle he is for this hockey team. So I think the combination, the addition of those players through acquisition and essentially almost acquiring 3 players that have been out of your lineup for a considerable length of time, I think will put us in a very good position that from my position, I'm comfortable with. I know we'll be a very, very competitive hockey club and also tough to play against. So,
Jeff, we know the last couple of years the Bruins have been, very active in the community and trying to take on that role as a team that's very community, aware of its responsibilities that way. They've been doing a new program lately with Coles On running it that we wanted to talk about. Just fill us in a little bit on what that's all about.
Oh, absolutely. It's something, actually, today was the 3rd week of it. It's Estevan Bruins Breakfast Club skills clinic that goes on every Wednesday here at Spectre Place from 7 to 8 in the morning. It's headed up by assistant coach Coles On, and he's always joined by a couple players that come out and help him. Today was Taylor Reach and Brett Demain were assisting him, and it was open to the public to sign up for a nominal fee, I think. So these kids are on the ice for an hour getting just some extra instruction that they might not get in a regular practice, and Cole just does a phenomenal job of it, and we feed them right after practice before they go back to school. So I think it's just a win-win. It's getting these kids on the ice more, some extra skill development, and I think there's also has to be something said that they've got an hour of physical activity before they go to school. I think it helps them, being alert and awake. So I think it's a great thing, for the kids that are in. There's 15 kids that are in it. The one before Christmas, there's another one that starts after Christmas that I think there's still some room in, but I think it's just a win-win. I think that the Bruins as a whole are giving something back, to the minor hockey players of Estevan. And I just think it speaks very well to the different players that are coming out to this, being teenage guys or young men. They're typically not excited about usually getting up at that early in the morning. They're here by 6:30 to be ready to go on the ice at 7. And that's something I'm really proud of those guys for. I think it just speaks extremely well to the character of the players that we have on the team. And they're just, like I say, it helps everyone involved.
And just because your Pee Wee AA team was on page 4 of the Mercury this week, I'm going to let you put in a little plug for their performance at that tournament in PA in the weekend.
Oh yeah, well, anyone doesn't know, I'm the head coach of the Pee Wee AA Sherritt Cole Bruins, and we were in PA this weekend for attending a 15-team tournament. Happy to say we came back B-side champs, and just really impressed with the boys. And my only disappointment came when I seen our accomplishments ended up on the 4th page of the paper. So I gave Josh a little shot here before we sat down that I thought it was a shame that winning got us that far back in the paper, and it wasn't fair to our guys. But no, we had a very good weekend, and truthfully, Josh and the Mercury has given us great coverage all year, so it's just all in good fun if anyone hasn't caught on to that.
All right, moving on. Jeff, we always look to you for guidance in the area of music. You're a great, I don't know if appreciator is a word, but you appreciate music, and you've always got new songs to tell us about. So what's your song pick for today's show?
Well, today I'm going to go with the pick that I assume very few people have heard about, but they're an alternative band called Crystal Fighters. I hear them all the time on Alt Nation, on my satellite radio, and the song's called At Home. A phenomenal song that's certainly getting a lot of play on there, and I'd encourage everyone to check it out.
Good, thanks for joining us, Jeff.
Hey, always a pleasure, guys.
Welcome back to the Beef Bar Bruin Banter TV. We're here at the Beef. We picked a different location at the Beef so you can see the ambiance of the entire place here. So enjoy what you're seeing behind us here. We're joined by Bruins head coach and GM Keith Cassidy. Keith, the Grey Cup is this weekend. You know who my pick is, but who are you picking in this?
Well, I'm going to have to go with Calgary, I think. The obvious connection there is Kevin Glenn, playing some quarterback there and doing a pretty good job of it. So, plus my heart's in the West, so, that's what I got to go with.
Disappointing.
Well, I mean, even with the Bombers playing in the East, I don't even consider them an Eastern team. They're a Western team, and the quicker they can get back to the Western Conference, the better.
Fair enough. I think everyone knows I'm going to go with my Argos. They had a terrible start against Montreal, but they turned it around and actually had a pretty dominant second half there. So,
dominant to the point where they lost by 12 points in Winnipeg one weekend, right?
I was talking about a totally different game.
Well, hey, you know what? There's not much to be said there in the Grey Cup final, and kudos to them. But I don't know if that string of luck can continue.
They've won 4 in a row. Calgary's won 6 in a row. So 2 hottest teams in the CFL. Yep. We'll see who comes out on top, but I'm going with my boys.
All right.
Moving on. The Bruins were in Grand Forks this past weekend on your annual trip to UND to see a couple of games there. Yep. By all accounts, it sounds like it was a great trip, a lot of fun, and got to see some great hockey. How did that go for you?
Well, it went really well. A couple of exciting games. First game was a 4-4 tie, and then the game the next night ended in overtime. Sioux came out on top in that one. I think, the first game was a little bit sloppy, but I think the real reason for being down there is just to show the guys what college hockey is all about, and it's a great show that they put on. The hockey is really good. We got a tour of their facilities. I think some of the guys were blown away by that. Hopefully it motivates some of them to want to move on to the next level, and that's really the point of it. And I think the guys enjoyed it.
I know when you've got as many guys on the roster as you guys have had for a good chunk of the season, getting away like that can help with just bonding and chemistry, which sometimes that can suffer when you've got that many guys on the roster. So, did you feel that was a strong point of the trip?
Well, I think so. I mean, being on the bus that long with guys obviously is good, and getting to hang out in a different situation rather than just seeing each other at the rink, I think is good. You mentioned the number of players we've had around so far, and a lot of that's necessitated by the injuries that we've had, and I think most of the guys get along with one another real well, and I think the chemistry is good. But anytime you can do something to try and improve that or help that out, you got to take that opportunity.
You've been off for a week now, but obviously back in action against L'Orange here, and then Kindersley the next night. Obviously, 2 teams that have struggled to start the season. How important is it for you to try to get the 4 points here?
Well, I think this weekend is a big weekend for us. We've got this week off. We've had 3 real good days of practice. We got 1 more tomorrow, and then it's parents' weekends for the guys. Their family and friends will be in town to watch. But the 4 points is definitely important, and we got to look at it. The cliche goes 1 game at a time, and that's the way we approach everything. And I think it's a good opportunity for us this weekend to make a bit of a move in the right direction, and I think the guys are focused and ready to go for that.
We talked about Dustin Jesso last week, the newest addition there up front. Obviously, you've still got up front Calder Neufeld and Matt Berkaliuk out of the lineup. It sounds like they're not all that far away from returning. Just talk about the depth that you should have up front once they're back. You've finally got a couple of lines that seem to be clicking well, and now adding those 2.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be an exciting time. Like I said last year, last time we spoke, it's going to be exciting to get everybody healthy and in the lineup. Where it shakes out is yet to be determined. I know Matt's pretty much ready to go this week. Obviously, we had Taylor Reach back for a couple of games, and he's getting his feet wet again. So, when everybody's back and healthy, it's going to be a challenge to get everybody the ice time that they think they deserve. But they're going to have to go out and earn it. And, competition's a healthy thing as long as it's approached the right way. And, I think we've got the character guys to do that.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Go Argos.